Hello NBA fans, every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm counting on you to subscribe to the channel and leave your. Who will be the MVP of the next NBA season? Analysts have already said that Luka Doncic is the leading candidate to win the award. Doncic is in impeccable shape and has everything it takes to be named the next best player in the NBA. NBA fans and analysts believe that LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers is the face of the league and, arguably, the best player. However, his time in the league is limited, and he could soon retire from playing the sport. With that in mind, there have been questions as to which player will step up and take James' role moving forward. NBA commentator Colin Cowherd isn't shy in giving out controversial takes in his show. Recently, he addressed the league's dilemma in looking for a replacement for James' role in the basketball scene. Cowherd said that fans and experts alike shouldn't look far when scouting for the next best player in the league. He named James' co-star, Luka Doncic, as a player who could potentially take over the NBA once the Akron native retires. Luka was not in good shape. He was puffy. He was injured in camp to begin with Dallas pre-trade. I think Luka is going to have his best year as a pro. I think Luka is going to average about 31 a game, Cowherd said. I think he's in impeccable shape, he continued. And I think you're going to see a real separation on most nights with Luka and LeBron. I think Luka is going to play like the best player in the league next year. The Lakers, more than any organization in the history of North American sports, the Lakers always have a great face of the franchise, Cowherd said. Luka's clearly the number one. LeBron's clearly the number two, and he knows it. The Los Angeles Lakers have started to establish Doncic as the face of the team. Once James retires, though, the Slovenian star could take on the responsibility of being the best player in the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers star could make history with his next contract. Over the weekend, Doncic signed a 3-year, $165 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a clear gesture that he wants to stay with the organization and move forward from his past with the Dallas Mavericks. After signing a new contract with the Lakers, the 5-time All-Star has a chance to make history with his next contract extension. The star guard could be the first player to be signed to a contract that could reach $400 million. Lakers Daily's Ashish Mather wrote on Monday that Doncic could make at least $80 million a year. A future Hall of Famer, Doncic will become the first player in NBA history to make $80 million per year when he signs that massive new extension in 2028. Unless Doncic suffers a career-threatening injury before the summer of 2028, the Lakers plan to offer him a 5-year deal worth more than $400 million, the source said, Mather wrote. The historic contract could take place 2 seasons from now. Over the weekend, Doncic signed a 3-year, $165 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a clear gesture that he wants to stay with the organization and move forward from his past with the Dallas Mavericks. After signing a new contract with the Lakers, the 5-time All-Star has a chance to make history with his next contract extension. The star guard could be the first player to be signed to a contract that could reach $400 million. Lakers Daily's Ashish Mather wrote on Monday that Doncic could make at least $80 million a year. A future Hall of Famer, Doncic will become the first player in NBA history to make $80 million per year when he signs that massive new extension in 2028. Unless Doncic suffers a career-threatening injury before the summer of 2028, the Lakers plan to offer him a 5-year deal worth more than $400 million, the source said, Mather wrote. The historic contract could take place 2 seasons from now. Lakers may already have a better backup center than Jackson Hayes. The Los Angeles Lakers look like a significantly better team right now than they did when they lost in the first round of the 2025 NBA playoffs, at least on paper. They addressed their huge hole at the center position by signing 7-footer DeAndre Ayton, a 26-year-old who has career averages of 16.4 points on 59% field goal shooting and 10.5 rebounds a game. The Lakers also brought in guard Marcus Smart, the NBA's 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, as well as forward Jake LaRavia, an excellent three-point shooter who seems to have some defensive potential. But many feel the Lakers aren't quite championship contenders right now. Fans point to the team's lack of options at the five behind Ayton as one thing they're unhappy about. However, LA may have a solid backup center on its roster already. Don't sleep on Maxi Kleber. Kleber, a veteran big man, was widely considered to be nothing more than someone who was thrown into the Luka Doncic trade in February. At the time, he had just undergone surgery following a foot injury he suffered in late January, and prior to that, he had struggled mightily with his shooting, as he had made just 38.5% of his overall shot attempts and 26.5% of his attempts from three-point range. Need a break? Play the USA Today Daily Crossword Puzzle. But in previous seasons, Kleber was a dependable three-point shooter and a serviceable defender. In 6 previous seasons prior to the 2024-25 campaign, he shot 36.2% from downtown and averaged 7.0 points, 4.8 rebounds, 0.9 blocks, and 3.6 three-point attempts in 23.9 minutes a game. He isn't a rim protector, and he isn't a particularly good rebounder. But if he returns to form, he could be adequate for about 15 to 20 minutes a game, and certainly more adequate overall than Jackson Hayes, LA's current backup center. Hayes was forced to be the team's starting center this past season following the Doncic trade. While he can be a lob threat and occasionally protect the rim well, the rest of his game is very limited. Plus, at 7 feet and 220 pounds, he lacks the strength to effectively box out or play solid positional defense. Kleber is 6'10" and 240 pounds, making him a sturdier option at the 5 for the Lakers. Plus, he spent several seasons playing alongside Doncic on the Dallas Mavericks, so the two have chemistry together. Rob Pelinka built Lakers roster to maintain optionality. Now that Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers front office have officially signed superstar Luka Doncic to a contract extension, the question now is what moves they will make to build a legit title contender around him. The front office has made some moves this offseason, signing DeAndre Ayton in free agency to give Doncic a rim-running center to pair with on the pick-and-roll, as well as bringing in defensive-minded players in veteran guard Marcus Smart and wing Jake LaRavia. However, many don't view the Lakers as being amongst the elite teams of the NBA just yet. Pelinka was asked about continuing to build this team, and the Lakers general manager made it clear that they are always in win-now mode, but also wants to make smart moves and feels this franchise is in position to do so if an opportunity presents itself. Make no mistakes, we're in win championship now mode always, Pelinka said during the press conference announcing Doncic's 3-year contract extension with the Lakers. But I don't want to bore people with apron talk. I think that the basketball public has enough of that. But in the new system that we're in, having optionality is key to building teams. I think we have seen some teams get stuck in the aprons, and once you're in them, it's hard to get out of them. And we've been very intentional with keeping our optionality to make now moves if there's good now moves to make, or to have sort of our flexibility in the future. I say all that the optionality is there for us to use now if the right move comes this way. We want to make smart moves. But to be in a position of flexibility versus being stuck is really promising for how we're going to build this team moving forward. The Lakers do have some good-sized contracts to put together in a trade with Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber all making around $11 million. Vincent and Kleber's contracts are both expiring. They also have Rui Hachimura on the final year of his deal at just over $18 million, so the pieces are there if the right player comes available. The draft capital for the Lakers is a bit bare, with their 2031 first-round pick being the only one the Lakers can trade outright. They can do swaps in 2026 and 2028, however, so Pelinka and this Lakers front office are in position to make a move that can help this team reach the next level. It's simply about making the right one. Rob Pelinka calls Luka Doncic extension a monumental moment in Lakers history. Rob Pelinka did not mince his words at all when announcing the Luka Doncic extension during the Lakers press conference. 6 months ago to the day, the Los Angeles Lakers chose Luka Doncic through a trade where he came to our franchise. Today, Luka Doncic chose the Los Angeles Lakers, and that is a monumental moment in Lakers history, Pelinka said to open the press conference. And we could not be more grateful for Luka choosing this partnership. The best young basketball player on the universe joins, for the long-term future, the best sports franchise on the globe. So truly an exciting day on behalf of Jeannie Buss and Mark Walter and Coach Redick and a lot of Luka's teammates, Marcus, Smart, Gabe, Vincent, Maxey, Kleber, DeAndre, Ayton, that are here today. Rob Pelinka says quiet part out loud about Lakers' plan to build around Luka Doncic. The Los Angeles Lakers are on the search for a new co-star in Hollywood. A very peculiar choice of words from Rob Pelinka at the press conference to celebrate the new Luka Doncic extension has left little room for doubt about what the plan looks like from here. The Los Angeles Lakers will be searching for a new co-star to pair with the superstar point guard. On Saturday, Doncic re-upped with the Lakers. The Slovenian superstar signed a 3-year, $165 million agreement to extend his stay in Los Angeles. That same day was when Pelinka hinted as to why the franchise has been prioritizing their financial flexibility. Make no mistakes, we're in win championship now mode always, the Lakers general manager told reporters. I don't want to bore people with apron talk, but in the new system that we're in, having optionality is key to building teams. It is there for us to use now if the right move comes. Pelinka said the Lakers want to make smart moves. Being flexible, over being stuck, was something the Lakers president described as really promising for how the team will be built moving forward. Lakers priorities indicating what comes next after Luka Doncic extension. Flexibility allows room for Pelinka to be opportunistic. That is a major takeaway that can be found in the comments made by the front office executive. It even gives more context to the earlier reporters in this offseason that surrounded LeBron James. The aging superstar was rumored to be viewed as an expiring contract. James is certainly someone that has proven capable of continuing to deliver at an elite level. However, no one is disillusioned with the fact that LeBron will be 41 years old before the calendar year shifts to 2026. Pelinka stated at the press conference that conversations with James and Rich Paul had been positive and supportive. The Lakers general manager even left the door open for the all-time great to retire in Los Angeles. However, it is obvious LeBron is no longer the main priority for the team. Rob Pelinka. All the interactions we've had with LeBron and his camp Rich in particular have been positive and supportive. We want to respect his ability to come up with his timetable. If he had a chance to retire a Laker, that would be great. Doncic is assuming that spot at the forefront. The Lakers superstar guard is entering the peak years of his career and will need to be properly supported to achieve the championship dreams many are discussing. James is certainly more than capable of being what Doncic needs right now. However, the Lakers sure sound like an organization who are about to go chasing stars once more to ensure there is a long-term answer to who backs Luka after LeBron is no longer able. Lakers' biggest front office blunder since 2020 still haunts them in 2025. The Los Angeles Lakers are still trying to put the pieces back together. 05/2025. The Los Angeles Lakers have done an admirable job reassembling a roster resembling that of a championship contender. There is no doubt that task was made harder than it should have been due to the front office's own shortcomings. Zach Kram of ESPN recently shined a spotlight on the ugly side of life in the NBA, pointing out the biggest roster mistakes since 2020 for all 30 NBA franchise. The Lakers slotted towards the middle, in terms of the gravity of their blunder. Kram argued the Lakers' missteps would be categorized in the miscellaneous mid-tier mistakes. The point of focus? That would be Los Angeles losing 3&D players from their 2020 championship team. The ESPN writer wrote, "They forgot the old maxim, if it ain't broke, don't fix it," and exchanged 3&D wings for ball handlers in their quest to win again. The overall effects are clear. The Lakers won 4 playoff series in 2020, but they've won just 2 total playoff series in the 5 seasons since. Lakers still struggling to fix their mistakes in 2025. 3&D role players helped LeBron James and Anthony Davis win a championship in 2020. Davis is gone now, but that mold of supporting cast would also be perfect for the current duo of James and Luka Doncic. Doncic is a master of undressing NBA defenses. The Slovenian superstar loves catching them with their pants down by finding the wide-open shooter that results from his impressive offensive attack. The Lakers took 40.0 attempts per game from beyond the arc following the All-Star break. That accounted for 46.9% of their total shots taken. They shot a respectable 37.6% from distance, but Doncic was the one accounting for a big part of that. The Lakers superstar connected on 38.6% of his 9.8 attempts over that span. Those numbers fell off in the NBA playoffs. The Lakers ranked 9th, out of the 16 teams in the postseason, shooting 35.1% from three-point. It is times like those when not having an Alex Caruso or a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is really felt. This is especially true when factoring in the other end of the court as well. The Lakers are still hunting for improvements on defense. Adding Marcus Smart certainly helped, but the need for more still exists. The problem with someone like Smart, too, is the added variance of what the former Defensive Player of the Year brings offensively. There were a handful of players who could reliably do both on the Lakers. Caruso, Caldwell-Pope, and Danny Green were all options who delivered the desirables offensively and defensively. Those feeling bold enough may even include Kyle Kuzma in that group. The Lakers let all of that go. A group of players built in a mold that never goes out of style were kicked to the curb. There have certainly been worse blunders since 2020 across the league. However, struggling to fill that void has been notable for Los Angeles ever since.